All right, kids, we're going to do a quick refresher on how to do tiered vocabulary. In the past, what I've noticed is a lot of you, regardless of your ratings, you write down a dictionary definition in the task section here. But what I want to point out is your task depends on your rating. So if you rate yourself a 4, your task is to write a context sentence with a reading tie-in. I'll explain that in a moment. If your rating is a 3, you just write a good context sentence. If it's a 2, you look it up, but you rewrite the definition in your own words. And if it's a 1, you simply look it up and write the definition. Right? So let's say, for example, that I'm super confident that I know what phantoms means. So I would write a sentence. The phantom of Billy Weaver haunted the landlady for years after she killed him. Now, the obvious thing here is that Billy Weaver, right, he's our reading tie-in, and the landlady, right? This is a story we read in reading class. The context in that sentence is haunted and after she killed him, right? So we know that the word phantom means something along the lines of a ghost, right? So now I'm going to erase that. Sorry, I'm not very good at erasing. So let's say I'm actually a 3. So now all I have to do is write a context sentence, but I don't have to have a reading tie-in. I can say, there are phantoms in my attic haunting my house, right? So again, my context is the idea of haunting, and no reading tie-in necessary. So now let's pretend it's a 2. So if I rate it as a 2, right, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to rewrite it in my own words. So when I look it up, ghost or something imaginary. Right? So I've rewritten that in my own words after having looked it up. So, oops, sorry about all the reminders. All right. Now, if I want to rate it at a 1, I would go and look in the dictionary, and guess what? Hey, ghost was one of the definitions. And figment of the imagination. Right? So please make sure that you are doing the task that corresponds with your rating. Now, if I'm to go forward and just finish this out, right? Let's say I'm not very confident about manifest. I feel pretty good about murmurs and tomb-like. Not as confident about intermittent. Plain, but it says it's a noun. I know plain is an adjective. Not sure what it is as a noun. Ebbing, no idea. Alibi, no idea. So I can look at this. There are 8 words here. And I can look and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my words are 2s and 1s. That means I only have to do these need-to-know words, and I do not need to move on to the next section. That means I am sufficiently challenged in the first section. Now, what about if I am more confident in my knowledge of each of these words? Let's say I'm pretty confident about manifest and murmurs and tomb-like. I know intermittent, like the back of my hand. Plain, again, as a noun, maybe less confident about ebbing. I've watched a lot of murder mysteries, so I'm really confident about alibi. So now I count and I say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my words are listed as 3s and 4s. So I will complete the tasks here. That's a sentence, a sentence, a sentence, a sentence with a reading tie-in, dictionary definition in my own word, dictionary definition in my own words, and a sentence with a reading tie-in. But now I'm going to go on and I'm going to do the same thing for the good to know words. A review, not sure, jockeying, sounds familiar, phonograph, I know that one, antiseptic, not sure, right? So now I'll go ahead, dictionary definition of my own words, definition of my own words, a sentence with a reading tie-in, and a definition of my own words. And there you go. Now, the final section, fun to know words, these are optional for all of us. If we just want an extra challenge, we can choose these last words. They're not super necessary to your understanding of the story, but knowing what they mean will certainly contribute to your understanding of the story. Now, all of us, 100% of us, will go ahead and move on and do part 2. And part 2 only uses the need to know words. So all it is just putting each word into the blank, right? Each word will be used only one time, so once you use it, you can cross it out. And this last step, I want to make note of this. After you've put it in, highlight the words or phrases in each sentence that act as context clues. And that's it.